and through our audio option. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Thank you. We're going to start with Director Cochran.
Here.
Devlin.
Here.
Garbarino.
Here.
Giudice is absent. Hernandez.
Here.
Maston.
Here.
Moulton Peters is absent. Barr.
Here.
Parrish.
Present.
Rodoni.
Present.
Snyder.
Here.
Fear.
Present.
Second Vice President Hardiman.
Here.
First Vice President Rabbit is absent. And President Hill is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. As a reminder, please be sure to turn on your mics when we open up for director discussion so everyone can hear. Please raise your hand and the secretary or I will call on you accordingly. You may follow along by referring to the page numbers located on the bottom right-hand corner of your meeting packet. Director Snyder, please lead us in today's Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the agenda item number 4, public comment. Madam Secretary, please continue.
Thank you. Agenda item 4 is public comment, and for any and all items on today's agenda. But if there is somebody who joins us later on, we will accommodate you. So if you hear us on the public line also, don't be afraid to speak up. If you wish to speak to that item on our agenda, address this board. I'm going to call your name. Please join us at the end of the table to provide your comment. And we're going to start with those attending in person. That is Mr. Sprague Turplin. Can you please join us?
Yeah, good morning, Sprague Turplin. First of all, I have been in communication with Dennis. I want to thank him for his the spirit of communication. My concern is that from a transit rider and the loss of service at Spencer Avenue, or the reduction of service, and I'm just advocating on behalf of those folks. But I also think, just so that you all are aware, part of those riders, some of those riders are people who access the Marin Headlands, people who don't have a car, don't want to use a car, whatever it might be. So I appreciate Dennis's interest in looking into a bus stop on Alexander Avenue, very, very close to the bridge for the southbound 120. And I just want to ask for your support in allowing those people who use transit to continue to have access to the headlands. And because, 30% of the residents of this city do not have a car. Just as a public agency, I appreciate that you keep those folks in mind. And I also think it'll help boost your revenue. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Alita Dupree. Alita, can you join us at the end of the table?
Thank you. Good morning to the chair and members and Dennis. Alita Dupree, for the record, she and her with Team Polls. It's good to be back in this room with you and enjoying this plush chair. Thank you. It's and the seats on the bus. I really enjoyed my bus ride up here. I think we have the plushest, best seats of any bus system in the Bay Area. It was definitely world class on my bus ride. It's really good to be back at the bridge. And my mother's birthday was yesterday, so I sent her a gift by texting her a picture of our beloved bridge, which we've actually both driven across. Yes, the Verrazano Bridge in New York has 60 feet on you. But there's so many other things I enjoy about this bridge. You can walk across it. We have the store and museum and that wonderful orange color. That's what many things that bring me back here. I am using Clipper 2. I think they renamed it New Generation. It works. That being said, for some it isn't. No one should be left behind. I know some people have had a person who's had some problems with Omni on the subway in New York, and that's been fixed, but want to make sure everybody gets taken care of. Some other things that I still am tracking on. Getting our new gantry in place for the true open road tolling. I certainly would like to see us preserve historical elements of the toll gates, such as moving one of our old toll booths onto a section of land that we own for people to see. And, of course, preserving the clock that is up there. The bridge, it's like the New York City subway. It's steeped in tradition and mindful of history. And we don't want to forget that. But I think we have to move toward the open road tolling, just as they are doing in the Bay Area and are a lot of other systems. I mean, open road all electronic tolling works. It just started January 4th on the Atlantic City Expressway in New Jersey. And I had actually driven that highway many times in my younger years. And that was before Easy Pass. That was simply most of my experience of driving toll roads has been in paying cash at the booths and in some cases getting tickets and the like. Closed systems such as the New York State Thruway and the Massachusetts Turnpike. And we're moving past that in most of the country. So we're very good at doing this because we were one of the first to go all electronic about a dozen years ago. Certainly, I'm looking towards zero emission. That's not easy to do in boats. But I read about this huge boat. I think it's going to run between, it's the big river like between Argentina and Uruguay. It's a huge electric boat that I think is going through sea trials. And I'm riding electric buses more. And of course, the subway, which I've used since 1970, runs on electricity. So we're doing a lot of good things. We're buying renewable fuel for the buses. I think we're buying renewable fuel for the ferry boats. Okay, my time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Dave Rohde.
Morning. My name is Dave Rohde. I'm the San Francisco Policy Co-Chair for the Climate Reality Project. It's been a busy week. On Wednesday, I spoke at a rally organized in the steps of City Hall. Climate leaders, community organizations, and labor unions, including over 100 members of IBEW Local 6 and IFPTE Local 21, banded together to encourage the city not to cut San Francisco's Climate Action Plan funding. We didn't just highlight climate as a threat, but as an opportunity to invest in jobs and to improve infrastructure into ongoing prosperity for California. We talked about the San Francisco Bay Area continuing to be a leader in clean energy technology and a hub for green business. Yesterday was an experience in the consequences of climate inaction. I marched in front of the federal building with my friends from Bayview Hunters Point who are suing the Navy for not cleaning up the Superfund site they left behind at Hunters Point Shipyard. Climate change is causing groundwater levels to rise and push radioactive contamination to the surface. The families who live next to it are on the front line of climate injustice. Lack of climate action always impacts the poorest communities first. I tell you this not to complain about having a busy week, but to point out the myriad government and public agencies that have the opportunity to mitigate the impact of the climate crisis, and you are one of those agencies. I also have some exciting news. Argentina just launched the world's largest all-electric ferry. The Incat Hull 096 is a high-speed catamaran that can carry, get this, 2,100 passengers and 225 cars. It has a standard operational speed of 25 to 40 knots. You said you need a large-capacity passenger ferry that's capable of 35 knots. It already exists. As for the issue of the electrical infrastructure needed to charge your electric ferries, you know that WETA is already accomplishing that. And you should realize that no one wants to build that infrastructure more than the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I'm sure Director Hernandez can speak to that. And clearly, the International Federation of Professional and Technical Engineers feel the same way. Which brings me to the point that you need to hire someone to explore all these possibilities and connect with the skilled workers that can help you realize an electric future. A sustainability director can at the very least lay the groundwork you described in your strategic plan initiative. Can't one of you introduce this idea to a committee meeting, discuss it, pass it, and bring it to this full board to get it done? It's time to take that step toward honoring your climate emergency resolution. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Rohde. Our fourth speaker is Paul Turley. Thank you, Mr.
Good morning,
Turley.
board members. I'm here to try to save the Spencer Avenue bus pad. It's used somewhat, and I wish you could find a way to have at least maybe the 101 pick up some of the slack. Just this week, on Monday, there was an elderly couple at the Spencer Avenue bus pad waiting for the Route 150. And I told them, oh, they're thinking about not having this in April. And their reaction was, oh, that's very disappointing. Also, I know there's a woman who drives her 11-year-old kid to go to school, and she puts him on the 150. She stays there and makes sure he gets on the bus. I've taken the 150 twice this week. I've had 4 people on, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. And just yesterday, there was, including myself, 4 people. And I told the lady, oh, there's going to be no service in April. She said, oh, I'm sure they'll have the 101 stop there. So I hope there's some consideration of getting some kind of bus service in Spencer Avenue all day. Thank you.
We have no further speaker cards. Is there anyone else in the public that would like to speak that's here? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move on to anyone that's on the public line. Justine, do you have any speakers on your public line you'd like to introduce?
Good morning. At the time of polling, we did not, but I believe some people may have joined. If you don't mind if I poll quickly.
Sure.
Thank you. If you've joined this morning and you'd like to speak at the board meeting, please press ** to unmute yourself and give me your name. Again, if you'd like to speak this morning, please press ** to unmute yourself and give me your name. Okay, I am not hearing anyone this morning on our line.
All right, thank you. Then we have no more speakers under public comment.
Thank you. This concludes public comment for items on today's agenda. We are going to move to item number 5 to approve the consent calendar. Are there any questions from board members on the consent calendar? Thank you. May I have a motion on this item?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please do a roll call vote.
Thank you. Voting on the consent calendar, starting with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin. Garbarino. Giudice is absent. Hernandez. Maston. Moulton Peters. Parr.
Yes.
Parrish. Rodoni.
Yes.
Snyder. Thier. Second Vice President Hardeman.
Yes.
First Vice President Robbins absent and President Hill is absent. Thank you. That's unanimous.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue on to the next item.
We're going to move on to item number 6A, and that's the report of the General Manager by Dennis Mulligan. Dennis, please proceed with your report.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. For Second Vice President Hardeman, members of the board, members of the public and staff, my written report is before you. Before I highlight a couple of things in that written report, I do respectfully ask that the Board of Directors ratify an emergency action I took. I ask that you ratify the action I took to award a contract to Bay Ship and Yacht Company of Alameda, California, to perform emergency repairs as well as the U.S. Coast Guard required biennial dry docking and related services in the amount of $667,858, as well as establishing a contingency fund of $5,000. As background, every 2 years we have to do a dry docking of our ferry boats, have U.S. Coast Guard inspect them, and get them recertified. We were in the process of going to do that for the MS Marin when prior to that happening, late last year, when we had king tides and winter storms with high runoff, there's lots of stuff floating in the bay. And stuff floating in the bay, sometimes on the surface, sometimes slightly below the surface, has a way of finding our water jets and propellers. In the case of the MS Marin, on the date of December 26th, both propellers found something and got bent. So the vessel was brought to the shore. Divers inspected and confirmed that there was in fact damage, and so we took it to Bay Shipping Yacht in Alameda. And so I asked that you approve the actions I took so that we can continue to service out to our customers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, may I please do a roll call vote?
Sure. We can see if anyone has any questions first. No questions on this? Okay. Then we have a first and we have a second, starting with Director Cochran.
Aye.
Devlin.
Aye.
Garbarino.
Aye.
Giudice. Is absent. Hernandez.
Aye.
Maston.
Aye.
Moulton Peters.
Yes.
Carr.
Aye.
Parrish.
Aye.
Verdoni.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Thier.
Aye.
Second Vice President Hardeman.
Aye.
First Vice President Robbins. Absent. And President Hill is absent. You have 12 ayes and that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Dennis, do you have anything further to report?
Yes. Subsequent to the posting of my general manager's report, I have some good news to report. Earlier this week, the Federal Transit Administration notified the Bridge District that we are the recipient of a $25.6 million grant for our San Rafael Transit Center replacement project. This grant is a competitive program. It's a discretionary grant that we competed for. And I'm pleased to inform you that in the 2026 cycle for the FTA's Bus and Bus Facilities Program, only 34 projects in 19 states and Puerto Rico are receiving a grant. And in the Region 9 of the Federal Transit Administration, we are the largest award that there was. So I just wanted to pass along that good news to make people aware that we're headed in a good direction on that. A couple other things going on with respect to travel in the corridor, because that's why we're here. In January, we had a slight dip in southbound bridge traffic. It was down 1%. In January, this is compared to the prior January of 2025. Our bus ridership in January was about 10% above January 2025, and our ferry ridership was 5% above January 2025 ridership. So we are seeing slow, steady growth. However, we're still well below pre-pandemic levels of travel in the corridor, particularly during the commute. During the morning commute, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on weekdays, southbound bridge traffic is still down 25%. Since tolls are how we fund our bus ferry service principally, as well as maintain and operate the bridge, not surprisingly, we have fiscal challenges because we have a 25% reduction in the morning commute. I'd like to remind people that we are not out of the woods. The current fiscal year will spend the last of our one-time COVID relief money, and that next year we will be adopting a budget with a deficit. I'll have one new thing in the report, and it's unfortunate that President Hill cannot be here today because last fall staff installed automatic bicycle and pedestrian counters on our sidewalks. And I have a table in my staff report that shows the bicycle and pedestrian counts. And in those 5 months, September through January, between bike and pedestrians, we had over 1 million sidewalk users. Clipper 2.0, last month I described it in apparently a press-worthy quote to let you know that there has been some incremental, but small incremental improvement, and there's still a long ways to go before all of our customers throughout the Bay Area that ride transit will be able to transition to Clipper 2.0. Many of the problems that I highlighted last month are still being worked on and have not been fully resolved. In my staff report, I talk about the threat to our FTA grants due to a lawsuit by the Amalgamated Transit Union against the U.S. Department of Labor. Subsequent to the publication of my staff report, there is one update on that. The lawsuit was filed in a federal district court in Washington, D.C. This matter has been litigated for many years in the Eastern District Court in California. And in the Eastern District Court in California, the transit agency's position as advocated by the state has won 100% of the time. The ATU lawsuit is in a different venue, and they filed a motion to combine that case with a Florida case, and apparently probably a legal attempt to keep it in that venue. On January 23rd, USDOL filed a response in opposition of ATU's motion to consolidate those Florida and California cases. Also, subsequently, the state of California has weighed in opposition of consolidating those cases. It's important to note that if the court were to rule in ATU's favor and against USDOL, it would affect all the FTA, Federal Transit Administration grants that we receive. Skipping ahead, in my report, I have a write-up on the Golden Gate Transit Amalgamated Retirement Pension Plan. It's the pension plan that represents our bus operators. Our employees participate in one of 4 different pension plans based on their collective bargaining agreement. Late last year, staff came to the board after talking to the Amalgamated Transit Union, and you approved an item wherein we committed as a district that if the Health and Welfare Trust, which is defunct, sent their funds that were in an account to us, that we would forward that same amount back to GG TARP to assist with its underfunded status. So on December 19th of last year, I sent an email to the pension administrator, and I included in that a copy of a letter jointly signed by Mr. Shane Weinstein, the union official, and myself, asking that they forward that money to the Bridge District. And this was in response to a letter they had sent previously to the party saying, what do you want to happen with this defunct Health and Welfare Trust? I did not receive any response from the pension administrator. So a month later in January, I sent a subsequent response, forwarding the prior email and the prior letter. I did not hear anything. Then I was able to, through one of our bus operators, to track down the 2 cell phone numbers for that plan administrator. I called one but was unable to leave a message because the voicemail's not been set up, but I did text her on the other asking that she called me. I have not heard from her since that original December correspondence, but we have some late breaking news. Earlier this month, I was on vacation and I received a phone call from a prior director. One of your former colleagues who has not been on this board for 4 years was contacted by the Bank of Marin saying, hey, we have this dormant account here with a lot of money in it, and you're one of the names listed as a signatory on that account. So the light bulbs went off in my head, and so I reached out to the plan administrator saying, you know, the Bank of Marin contacted one of your former trustees who has not been on in 4 years, and that trustee contacted me. So I'm letting you know that the Bank of Marin is where that account is. Here are the last 4 digits of the account number. Here's the approximate amount. Can you please respond to my December email with the joint letter? As we sit here today, I have never received a response from the plan administrator, but I am pleased to announce that last Thursday, when I was at our bus division, another trustee, one of our bus operators, Mr. David Herrera, was pacing outside my staff meeting with our bus folks. And when I came out, he handed me a check for $322,000. So we had committed that money would go to the pension trust. I immediately sent an email to the plan administrator saying that I had received the check. And the next day, I was able to get it to our staff and we deposited it. Last Friday, our accounting supervisor emailed the trustee saying, please confirm, we have the check, what account you want it sent to. Did not hear anything. Sent another email earlier this week saying the money's now deposited in our account. Can you please confirm the account number? They sent an email last night saying, we think we know the account number, so if we don't hear from you, we're just going to put the money in that account. This morning, we put the money in that account, and at about the same time we were doing that, he finally received a response saying that's the account they want the money to go in. So that is the status of the GG TARP and the current status of how it's administered. Now I'll come to the part of the meeting that I enjoy the most. And at this juncture, I would like to ask Mike Hoffman to escort Todd Leitch to the front of the room. Todd Leitch is retiring from the Bridge District. Todd works in our ferry division. He runs our maintenance staff there, or he did. He joined the district back in 2005. He joined as a junior mechanic, got promoted to mechanic, and then later got promoted to be in charge of all the maintenance activities there. We get service out every day. You hear me talk about bent props and engines and all those challenges. Todd and his team is the folks that solve all of those challenges. So we're sad to see him go because he's been an integral part of our team. We've had the pleasure of working with him, and we wish him all the best in retirement. So please join me in congratulating Todd Leitch on a well-deserved retirement. I'll give you the mic. Sir.
I'll just keep it quick. I'm sorry I can't sit in that nice plush chair at the end that I hear is really comfortable. But I want to thank the district for putting up with helping me and supporting me with all my endeavors throughout my career here. I started as a junior mechanic. I worked at Ferry. I came up to Bridge, worked for 3 years at Bridge as a machinist, and went back up to Ferry. And then I want to especially thank Mike Hoffman for having the trust in me to have me in a position of the maintenance manager, which has been a very interesting job. And we work with a really good crew up there. So thank you. Thank you again.
So now I ask Director Chris Snyder to come to the front of the room. If you look at the GM's report, you should have noticed that Chris Snyder became a director 5 years ago. And so we're pleased to celebrate 5 years of service on the board of directors. When he's not helping the Bridge District, and he does help the Bridge District tremendously, he serves as a political director for Operating Engineers Local 3. He has a very great resume of different jobs and tasks he's been involved in. One of his first jobs actually was a deckhand dispatched by Marina Secitano. So he knows different facets of our business while he's in the Operating Engineers today. He's a graduate of Cal State East Bay in political science with a minor in law. He has a degree from being on the maritime side from Seattle. And we're just very, very grateful to have him as part of our team. So with that, congratulations on 5 years. Say a few words.
Oh, why you hold the blame?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've said a lot of words in here before, but it is, the strength of this board is the diversity we have and everybody that comes from different backgrounds, and it just really does make us strong. It's been a real pleasure the last few years to work on everything from the retrofits to, we're going to fix the pension this year, I hear. And, there's still a lot of work to do, and I'm looking forward to serving with this august body, and, really appreciate this and you and your leadership, and, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Now I'll ask Paul McClellan to escort Devin Denton to the front of the room. We have a committee of our employees without any management involvement that selects one of their own each month to be the employee of the month. And this month they selected Devin. Mr. Denton is recognized for his incredible the job he does in a very difficult environment. He's a bus servicer that works at what we call D4, but it's our San Francisco bus lot. We have a bus lot in San Francisco under the elevated freeway between Perry and Stillman Streets. And there's a lot of tasks that are done there, including keeping the facility safe and clean. And his colleagues praise him nonstop. He's been with us only a short time. You were hired in 2022, but he's made a tremendous mark already. We have a midday bus facility that gets a lot of usage in an urban environment with lots of challenges. And if you go down there today, you would not recognize that there are challenges because of Mr. Denton's work. So congratulations. Nope. Thank you so much. That concludes my report.
Are there any questions from the directors on the rest of the general manager's report? Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please
Continue on to the next item on the agenda.
Thank you. We are going to move on to the next item, which is item 6B, with the attorney's report by Kim Manolius. Kim, please proceed with your report.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My written report's before you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. There is no closed session today. Good news.
Are there any questions related to the attorney's report? Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue on to the next item of the agenda.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item 6C, and that's the report of the district engineer. As a reminder, the engineer's report can be found in the Building and Operating Committee meeting packet as agenda item number 5. John Eberly is here to present the report. John, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Second Vice President Hartman, members of the board. As noted, my report is in the B&O committee package from yesterday, and there's a few items I'd like to bring to your attention. First, the suspension bridge seismic retrofit project is progressing along. Contractor is processing the preliminary and necessary submittals in order to go out there on site. They anticipate coming out on site around May with their first mobilization. So I'll keep you posted on that. At the San Rafael bus facility, we finally had PG&E come out and do our transformer installation and cut over of power. So power is now on the new transformer, all of the new facilities. The PV commissioning was originally scheduled for this week, but was postponed until next week. So hopefully that will be successful, and I'll keep you posted on that also. At the San Francisco Ferry facility, the board approved a change order a couple months ago for removing the camel structures. So the contractor has removed that from San Francisco, but to an offsite facility, and is doing the blasting and then further inspections of the underwater portions of that. And so far it's been successful, but if there are any unknown conditions, I'll bring that to you if they become apparent. And then with regard to the emergency bridge electrical project, we had the pre-construction meeting on Tuesday. We had a site visit yesterday with the contractor. They anticipate work beginning in about the middle of March, about 2 or 3 weeks. And with that, I'm happy to answer any other questions on my report.
Thank you, John. Are there any questions related to the engineer's report? Madam Secretary, please continue on to the next item on the agenda.
We're going to continue on to item 8A on the agenda, which is the report of yesterday's Finance Auditing Committee. And Vice Chair Parr, please begin your committee's report to the board, and thank you for covering the meeting.
Thank you. Second Vice President Hardeman and colleagues, the Finance Auditing Committee is recommending approval of item 8A1 to approve the renewal of the district's marine insurance program as detailed in the staff report relative to the district's protection and indemnity coverage. Hull and machinery, increased value and war coverage, including Terrorism and Risk Assurance Insurance Act, TRIA coverage, marine general liability coverage, as well as excess marine general liability insurance program, and vessel pollution liability coverage for a renewal package totaling $1,012,878, which represents an approximately 5.1% increase over the expiring marine insurance program, effective February 20th, 2026, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a second. Before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Thank you, Madam Secretary. May you please do a roll call vote?
Thank you. Voting on item 8A1 with the first and second, starting with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin. Aye. Garbarino. Giudice is absent. Hernandez. Maston. Aye. Moulton Peters. Yes. Parr.
Yes.
Parrish. Yes. Verdoni.
Yes.
Snyder. Thier. Yes. Second Vice President Hardeman.
Yes.
First Vice President Rapid is absent. President Hill is absent. Thank you. That vote is unanimous.
Thank you, Vice Chair Parr. Do you have anything further to report?
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue on with today's agenda.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business under items number 9, 10, 11, and no new business to report under item 12. Item 13 is communications, and there's a revised communication in front of you on the blue sheet. If you're interested in seeing any of the communications, just let us know. We'll email them to you. We did not print them to try and save a tree. That's all I have.
Well, thank you. We reached the end of today's agenda. Thanks everyone who joined us on today's meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn? And may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please do read the names for today's adjournment.
Thank you. We're going to adjourn today's meeting with a moment of silence in honor of Jeffrey DeGregorio, our network administrator in the Information Systems Department, Randy Estes, bus operator in the bus division, Bob Fugel, our former deputy auditor controller, Michael Robello at the request of Director Giudice, and Michael McAllister Petaluma at the request of First Vice President Rabbit.
This concludes the meeting of the Board of Directors. The time is 10:36. Thank you very much, everyone.